Welcome back to Trying to Figure It Out. This week, we are podcasting from Houston, Texas, which is so exciting for me. It's our first time traveling for the podcast, and I'm really excited to be here. We've had the time of our lives out here. We came out here for an interview with someone who has been all over Netflix lately. Welcome to Trying to Figure It Out, Colby. We're wearing our cowboy hats because we're trying to get in the Texas vibe, but now I'm going to take it off so I can put my headphones on.
This is a keeper, by the way.
Yeah.
And just letting y'all know, you're leaving one behind for me. All right.
That can be your hat.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Taking it.
That's your new addition to your cowboy hat collection.
I think I'm backward.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm really happy to have you here. For my listeners who don't know, Colby was on a show called The Ultimatum, a show for couples to get clarity about their relationships. This show was massive. I mean, it had over 1 billion hours of listening. Like, that's crazy for a first season. I mean, Love is Blind was super popular, and then they teased the ultimatum at the end of the second season of Love is Blind, and I literally marked my calendar to watch this show because the concept is really kind of crazy, honestly, and I was so excited to watch it. So you went on the show with, at the time, your girlfriend Madlyn, and you wanted to figure out for the two of you if you were going to get married or if you were going to split, which is a hard choice to make. And I just want to dive into like what it was like for you, what life is like for you now, and where you're at, what was going on before the show, and just get to know you a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, thanks for having me, taking the time to do all this. Come a long way for this. So
yeah, so worth it though. And you've given us lots of great recommendations. Like, you've been our tour guide.
I'm the plug in there for sure.
Yeah, you really are.
But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank y'all so much. And man, it's been a crazy ride. Before the show, it was pretty wild. We kind of got connected through social media. It's how they reached out to us and everything. And I got a message over Instagram saying, "Hey, we're interested in you coming on the show and all this stuff." And
so they found you?
Yeah. So they reached out through my Instagram, and I've done some modeling in the past, like throughout college and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pay the bills, a little fun money, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time I was like, all right, it's probably just like a little gig or whatever. So I kind of ignored it. And then I got a second message from them saying, "Hey, it's Netflix. Like, we're really interested. We love blah, 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 blah." Well, then my girlfriend, Madlyn at the time, right, was saying, "Hey, I just got the same message." She gives me a call. She's like, "Hey, I just got off the phone with Netflix. This is real." And I was like, "Are you serious? Like, is this actually happening?" She's like, "Yeah, they want to interview us and go through like this process and everything." I was like, "All right, cool." You
That's
know,
crazy.
me just being a people person, I was like, "Set it up. Let's talk.
Yeah.
You know, what's next?" So we went through this like interview process. We did like 4 different interviews, like intense interviews, probably like 45 to an hour long each.
Wow.
And as we went along, we met from like just the recruiters to like the production to the actual producers themselves, and it just got more intensified and everything. And probably 6 months out from filming, they're like, "Hey, you're actually one of our top picks out of like the thousands of couples in Austin." And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
that either really concerns me about my relationship or it makes me really proud of my relationship. You know, it's like, but yeah, so they're like, "We'll be reaching out to you soon," and all that. Well, like 5 months goes by, and like literally 2 weeks out from filming, they're like, "So you are a final couple. We're gonna be shooting in 2 weeks. Get ready, pack your bags. You'll be in downtown Austin." And we're like,
wow.
"Okay, hold on. We have to put our whole life on pause real quick to do this." And they're like, "Yeah, you can either do it or we can go to the next couple." We're like, "What's the once in a lifetime opportunity?"
Yeah.
You know? So I was like,
Of course.
"Pack your bags, sweetheart. We're getting on this show.
We're going.
We're doing this," you know?
So
And we were both excited about it.
I'm sure the ultimatum part of that, like, had you been talking before you even got the messages? Like, were you guys in a place where you were about to give an ultimatum regardless? Like,
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. You know, we've been dating for a while, and I was getting to the point where I was ready to drop on a knee already. You know, she didn't know. Like, we weren't talking about marriage yet.
right,
But I was mindset ready for that next step.
right.
When this opportunity came across the table, I was like, what not a better opportunity to do this on a large platform,
Right.
you know? And she doesn't want the big white wedding either. So like when we got married, I knew it would be just us two, not the whole show, the whole big white wedding. So she was just, you know, I was like, in my mind, I was already kind of like running through this whole process on my own because I was fully committed. I was 100% on board. Like, Madlyn's my girl, you know, I had no doubts, concerns about it. And I jumped on the show and all this stuff started going on. And I was like, holy shit, I thought we were solid.
Yeah.
Like, what,
Yeah.
what's all this, like, but that was the whole point of the show too. It was to make sure I was on track to, I found the right girl.
Right. There's lessons in it for you too, because as the one who gave the ultimatum, I'm sure you still learned so much about what you love about your relationship and what you need to work on.
For sure. Yeah. And that was kind of the main point of all of it, was to do a lot of self growth.
Yeah.
Just as an individual for each of us. And to look at us from a different light kind of thing. But at the same time, as a couple, it really pushed our boundaries on how comfortable we are with each other, what different topics that we weren't really sure to talk about at first, as a couple, but then we kind of force ourselves into them.
Yeah. We don't have much of a choice.
Yeah. It didn't even give us a choice. So the whole ultimatum aspect of it was kind of like, okay, this is actually probably a better thing for our relationship than more like a throw us in the fire, kind of watch us crumble.
Yeah.
So
100%.
it's really cool.
All right, so we're going to get back to some Houston stuff because I have to ask.
Bring it on.
You've been giving me the coolest recommendations. You literally, I am now titling this the Colby Crawl because you sent me the craziest recommendation. You pulled up a map and you drew exactly where to go at which time and when to leave that spot to go to the next spot. And I thought that was so awesome. So I'm going to show my listeners a picture of that because it's just so iconic. But what are your top recommendations for things to do here?
Oh man. Well, I'm pretty adventurous myself. So I try to look for something new all the time. I don't like to get stuck in a groove,
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of jumping around. As far as my favorite thing to do would probably go fishing. Be my
fishing.
Hiking, trails, stuff like that. My daily routine in the morning is running 2 miles. Just the Woodlands is where we're at. It's North Houston, about 45 minutes.
Yeah. And
the Woodlands is called the Woodlands for a purpose. I mean, look at this view. You just see trees everywhere,
beautiful.
Right? Well, within the trees, there's houses everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but there's houses everywhere. And there's trails that just weave all throughout these different neighborhoods and stuff. And you can stay on one for 10 miles if you wanted to.
Right.
But it's just beautiful. That's probably what my big thing is, working out and just doing some physical, working on myself and having some time to myself to think. To get into your question, really it has so much to offer. The nightlife is fun. We like to go out when we can. Obviously the baby limits us.
Of course.
But trails really mainly. I just kind of like the woods and finding my own trail and finding my own direction I like to go in.
Yeah. It's so quaint here and just peaceful. Yeah. I'm honestly sad to leave tomorrow, if I'm being honest.
It's a good spot.
Maybe we should extend our stay. So you grew up here, you went to school at Texas A&M, and you still live here. What do you love so much about it here?
Man, so I'm originally from DFW. I grew up in Arlington, Texas. That's my home. I was born and raised there. More so the Fort Worth side is what I like to call home. Most people don't know Arlington, Texas, where the Cowboys are now. But it's a great place, offers a lot. I've been involved in sports my whole life, and that was the Metroplex was Sports Central.
Yeah.
The best of the best play there and go into college and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's that's kind of why my family raised me. Just a good family environment. Offers a lot. You got Hurricane Harbor down the street, Six Flags. You got all the fun sport complexes.
Love amusement parks.
Fort Worth, 30 minutes that way. Dallas, 30 minutes that way. So you're right in between everything. It's a great place to live.
Right.
But come high school, we moved out to Mineral Wells, and Mineral Wells is a small little town. I absolutely adore now. Then, although I was used to the sticks and the outdoor lifestyle, it was never that small town feel that I had. It was all that big inner city, energy.
Right.
But when I moved out there, I was like, dude, I think I'm a small town dude.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. You know. Being in the woods all the time, it made it easy for the adjustment. But for my sister and my mom, that's a whole different story there.
Yeah.
They had a little bit different experience adjusting to the small town feel.
I'm sure.
It's
not for everyone.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But it's been quite the journey for me. So I went from DFW to small town, just about an hour outside of Fort Worth, Texas, and then I went down to A&M for school. From there, ventured off to San Antonio for a year. I lived up in Austin for the 2 years, and that's when me and Madlyn reconnected, and then from there, we've been on the same journey.
That's amazing. So family is a top priority for you.
Yeah, it's always been a huge my number one priority for sure.
Yeah.
I was raised in a very well-connected family environment. Even our neighbors, to this day, I still call them brothers and sisters because it was just such a well-knitted neighborhood that we would go and they would watch us, like my family friends would watch us. If my parents went out, or we would watch their kids and we would, you know, hang out. I call them my brother and sister still to this day.
That's awesome. And your parents were married?
Yeah, so my parents have been married for almost 30 years now. Wow. I believe they're about to have their 29th anniversary.
That is just so special.
Incredible. Yeah, very blessed to experience that.
I envy that.
Yeah.
My parents split when I was 6, so
goodness.
I have a different experience with that. But family is still a top priority for me too, and I think that it doesn't always have to be picture perfect. It can still be something that you value so much, you know?
Oh, and as picture perfect as that 29 years sounds,
I'm sure it's
a lot of highs and lows.
I'm sure. And that's what comes with it.
For sure.
So eventually Madlyn came into your life. How did you guys meet?
Yeah, so it was 2015. I was just started working at this bar, and it was kind of a famous bar in the area for College Station. Pretty popular spot. You know, they got piano night, they got karaoke night. They, you know, just some fun events.
Yeah.
And I was, at the time, I was the guy who checked IDs at the front door. You know what I'm saying?
The bouncer.
Yeah, I was the bouncer, legitimately. And I was like this, I mean, I was a lot smaller than I am today. I'm not that big of a guy to begin with, right? So I was, you know, probably a few inches shorter, probably like 20 pounds less too. And I was like standing at the door, you know, like my sleeves rolled up, like trying to act all big and whatnot. But yeah, I'd check ID. It's just because I was cool, you know, like everyone kind of gave me the respect that was required of the job. And I got along with everybody else. So they kind of just threw me into it. And, you know, as I'm checking IDs, she walks in and I didn't even look at her ID. You know, I'm like, just kind of stuck looking at her. But I was like, oh my gosh, like I've never seen this beauty of, you know, it's just so unique to me. And, you know, I then checked it, of course, just for my record.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she goes in and immediately I'm like signaling the bartender to like shot on me for this girl. And she had, of course, like 4 other friends with her, you know, and they all go in and we get shots together, and we still have the original picture that we took that night in 2015 of all of her friends around me, you know, and she's on the end, and I'm like in the middle of these like 4 blonde girls, and I'm like reaching as far as I can to get my arm around Madlyn, you know, because I'm like, hey, this is for you, you know, like I just want your attention real quick.
That's adorable.
So like 3 weeks later, I didn't even invite them. I was walking down one of the main roads, Wellborn, to go tailgate. And as I was walking on the road to meet my buddies, she and one of her friends was actually walking down the same street. That's insane. And that's how we really had the first connection, like a real connection of like just our time, you know, our own attention with each other. And I showed her like a few of the tailgates that I've been going to, you know, and showed her around all my friends. And, you know, we ended up talking for a few weeks. But after that, I guess the rest is history. We just kind of stayed friends over the years and reconnected back in Austin.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to dwell on the show too much since everyone can watch and see what went down, but I do want to talk about your experience watching it back. How did it feel watching the show together afterwards? Right
after the show ended, which was like early to mid-May, I think May 13th was the last day of the show. We wrapped everything up. You know, we got married, so we started planning the whole bachelorette party. Well, we threw our same parties together and went down to Rockport, Texas, and did our thing. I mean, we tore it up.
I'm sure.
We left a dent in the sand. Like, everyone knows where we partied at. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually where I think we conceived that baby. I really do. It was just one of those times. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was 3 months after the show ended. Which is it was actually on her birthday, which was the August 27th, coming right on up, you know, soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that day, and we found out about 3 weeks later, back at my sister's house, and we were just beyond happy. I was freaking out when she told me. We were all partying and stuff, and we weren't really partying, I guess. We were playing this game called Catan. I don't know if you've ever heard of Catan.
I love Catan.
That's my game.
It's a great
game. I call it a party because that's how much I love it.
No, it's a great game. That and Monopoly.
Oh, killer.
I'll be going for days.
I'm a strategic guy.
Yeah.
Like anything strategic, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Like I could play the game multiple times in a row. But yeah, it's just we were all hanging out playing Catan, and she goes to the restroom. She comes back out. She goes, Colby. She comes around the corner. She's like, come here. I was like, what? She's like, come here. was like, all right. I was like, what did I do, man? Like, am I in trouble already? And, you know, we go back to the back bedroom. She goes, all right, stand over there and close your eyes. I was like, okay, look, it's too early for this.
Yeah.
Like, we're playing Catan with my sister in the other room, you know, like, no, but so she, you know, she's like, all right, open up. And she had it. And it was like a plus sign and everything. I was like, I just kind of like was in shock at first.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to respond. And then it like really registered in my mind. I was like, oh my God. I just kind of started crying and like we started hugging it out and we were just, oh man.
Did you tell your sister or did you wait?
Oh, immediately. I was
Yeah.
like, I just started yelling her name and then my brother-in-law came in with her, you know, the kids.
That's
and all
amazing.
that. Yeah, it was a good little celebratory situation.
Yeah.
It's good.
So did you guys watch the show when it came out?
You know, the reunion?
Mm-hmm.
So right before the reunion, we all got to have a iPad. They all sent us an iPad and we got to watch it, but isolated. Like we couldn't watch it together.
Oh, you couldn't?
Right. So we all got put in different rooms and stuff. And
Interesting.
we're given an iPad. And, you know, me being me, I was kind of the troublemaker of the show, to be honest. They could never really tie me down. I was just always looking for fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know?
Yeah.
You're not going
You
to
gotta
jail
make
me
the
up.
most of
I'm
it.
not going to get cuffed, you know? Like, I'm living life large, you know? Basically, when we went up to California to watch it, and we're all isolated right before the reunion,
Right.
I just kind of skipped through it, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, I know what I did. You know, like
You know what happened.
Yeah, I know what happened. Like, I'm not really worried about it. It was more so like kind of like catching Madlyn's moment, because like we've talked about it. You know, of course, right? So it was interesting knowing it verbally versus like actually watching those moments that she talked about. Like,
that's
how accurate is she explaining these moments to me, you know? But I mean, because I did the same thing, and I was like, how brutal do I have to be, you know, for her to understand what's really going on versus I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Did you guys have any like conversations that were reopened after watching it that were kind of hard to have, or had you already talked it all out?
Yeah, kind of like I was saying, we the verbal experience versus like actually watching the show. We talked about it, and then when we watched it, I was like, okay. I was like, that's a little different than what was in a visual that I got in my head when you said it.
When you talked.
Yeah, and so once I watched it, I was like, okay, it was a little bit more. There's a little bit more emotions that was behind it than just the flat surface that I was given. You know, so it was difficult to watch, but at the same time, I knew what I was getting myself into. Yeah. Like I've already prepped myself mentally for this feedback that I was getting. Yeah. So whenever I watched it, I was of course you still feel it.
Of course.
You definitely feel it.
Hard to watch.
But then you got to realize like, hey, you know, I signed up for this. Yeah. That's what I did.
And look at where it brought you.
Yeah. You know, that's all that pressure, you know, it's just like it redefines who you really are. Absolutely. And then to see this come out of it, I was like, dude, I couldn't be more thankful to have what I have now, you know?
100%. So we're going to pivot a little bit, but something that I talk about a lot on this podcast, and it's super important to me, is mental health. I know that not everyone has a diagnosable condition with their mental health, but everyone experiences ups and downs in their mental health and has things that they are trying to figure out and trying to work on. So are you open to talking a little bit about your mental health on the podcast today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Let's focus on your childhood and teenage years first. What was your mental health like before the ultimatum, when you were in high school and college? Like growing up, did you ever associate yourself with any mental health struggles?
Yeah. You know, as a kid, I would say I was pretty sheltered as a kid. Just in a very loving family, though. Not really kept out of harm's way, but you know, there's a lot of things that happened in my family while I was growing up. I mean, my grandparents split after like 40 years of being together. So like that impacted me a lot because I was very close to those grandparents. Right. They lived right down the street from me. Call him Pops. Yeah. That was his name. And my Mimi. And they, in my eyes as a kid, beautiful relationship. I mean, it was just picture perfect to me. Yeah. Better than my own parents at that time. You know, it's like, that's something that I just kind of held to a different level. Yeah. And they were just something that I envied for sure. and seeing my family the way we worked in a house as we did, although we were very close, you know, being that close to somebody, you still butt heads and you don't always get along with each other, and you're still trying to figure things out. But when I got to about my high school days, that's when I was starting to figure out my own self. And I got to a point where I was heavily involved in sports, and I was able to talk to other people, but I wasn't talking to them about my true feelings.
Right.
I was just talking to them about the daily life, you know, kind of thing.
Surface level.
Yeah, but I was never able to really open up. And I was opening up to my grandparents transitioning into high school. That's when everything kind of shit hit the fan for them. Yeah. And so I was like, I kind of lost my people that I felt most comfortable talking to.
Right.
So I was never to release that. So I kind of went into like a depression stage of kind of getting into drugs, as I was best way to say it. I mean, not like hardcore drugs. No. It was like marijuana, maybe. Yeah. You know, like that's the hardest thing I did, I think. But it was depression though. It set in, and I wasn't able to talk about things and how I was really feeling behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And then I got my other side of the family, my other grandparents, right? They would literally drive like 4 hours from their home, like every weekend to visit me. Wow. Be like, hey man, like
trying to help.
We're here. Yeah. Like they would come and visit me and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah. It was probably like 4 weekends straight, maybe even 5. It was like a full month or 2 that they came over and was like, hey, let us help. Because my parents weren't getting through to me. I would still just be like leaving late at night, like trying to figure my own stuff out. And I wasn't even like going to parties. Like I wasn't raging. Like I would go, like, so where I live, Mineral Wells, like I was saying, it's all hills, like real like deep wooded hills that just had views for days. It's beautiful. And I would get in my pickup truck, my old 1986 Chevy Silverado pickup truck, and I'll just go back roading. And that by myself, like I'm not doing anything wrong. I wasn't doing anything to like threaten my own self. I wasn't
just going.
I was just kind of like lost in my thoughts. It was just like, I don't know who I am anymore. Like my life, my family around me is kind of crashing at the moment. Like I don't know how to go forth. And then I just kind of had a breakthrough moment where I was like, dude, this is my family. Like this is the people I should be able to trust the most. Yeah. These are the people I should rely on, be able to like open myself up to and be able to say anything I want and not feel judged or not like feel like anything I do, it's going to come back on me or,
absolutely,
you know, be in the world of, you know, you're a terrible person. You know, it's just like, I finally came around to, okay, this is family. This is what family is. This is what it's supposed to be,
100%.
You know? And I had that sit down talk and a breakthrough and just like, filled with positivity and so many answers I got from it. And it was like almost facing my fear, to be honest with you, to just be as simple as it can be. 100%. It was like facing my fear. Yeah. You know, the crazy part about it, my fear was my family. Yeah. You know?
100%.
So that was my
for sharing that.
That was my breakthrough moment.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, you know, those are the people I lean on the most. Those are the people I talk to the most. I'm able to tell them my hard days, my better days, you know, they praise me either way because they're going to be there for me no matter what. And they let me know that. And once I got that insurance, I was like, all right.
Absolutely.
Like now I'm good. Now I can keep rocking. No matter what happens, I know they're going to be there for me.
That's awesome. You know? Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I can empathize and understand that even though it wasn't your parents getting divorced and it was something to you that it shocked you and that's traumatic and it's hard to see. It's like something you looked up to and something you were so close to for so long and it's completely changing and it's really hard to process that at any age, but especially at a younger age. And I think that I have a lot of like empathy because I think it's easier now to look back at divorce and be very chill about it, but it really affects people in so many ways.
It does, yeah, because you hold them to that pedestal of just like greatness. Like it's just such an incredible thing that you're surrounded by, you know, and to see it just get knocked down like that. I mean, it happens so suddenly. It's
stability that's not stable anymore. And
for sure.
That's really hard to process.
For sure. And you know, to be, the crazy part about it is like Madlyn has always been like, you're just like always about dreamy stuff. You're dreamy, you know, it's like, no, I've actually seen it not work. Yeah. Like I've been in the environment before, but seeing my parents, I know what it takes to maintain and to survive those difficult times. Absolutely. And to make it through them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm dreamy because I've experienced it before and I see the brighter side. I've seen the darkness, but I've seen the brighter side. I know what it takes to get there and to keep it, you know? So I think that's where she comes from, the dreamy side, because she just knows about that side
Yeah.
of everything. And I've opened up a little bit to Madlyn
Yeah.
about my grandparents and all that stuff. And I think the more she comes around my family and the more open we are to her about that situation,
Yeah.
I think she's now starting to see kind of I'm not as dreamy, I guess,
Yeah.
in the aspect of like how blind I am to how bad things can get.
Right.
Divorce, you know?
Yeah.
I think she's starting to see more so like the realness that I carry with me.
Right.
You know?
And it allows her to get to know you even better.
For sure.
You guys probably know each other better than anyone. But
Oh my gosh.
that being said, there's always more to learn about someone.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate you sharing that with me. So is there anything else that we haven't touched on your mental health that you'd like to touch on?
I mean, I've always carried a very positive attitude, maybe
Yeah.
overly positive.
Yeah,
to be
you
honest.
radiate positivity.
100%. Yeah, you can feel it in the room.
100%.
Yeah, so whenever I, are around people, I don't have to try to do it. It's never like
Yeah.
make myself known. It's just kind of a natural thing that I've been instilled in. And I like what I was saying earlier about my family, like when I opened up to them, and just like that's when everything came to.
Yeah.
And like ever since, I've just had this like crazy positive energy
That's
because
amazing.
I know no matter what, like me and myself, I'll keep carrying who I am.
Yeah.
But not only that, I got people who can back me up and support. I got that support system
Yeah.
that I've now been able to count on when
Yeah.
I need them.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that, but not everybody has that. Some
Yeah.
people got to find the grit,
Yeah.
and in certain situations it's tough to find it. But after the show, I ended up with Madlyn, so I didn't really
You were
find
just
it.
on cloud nine.
Yeah, I didn't find it too hard to be positive. It's like
Yeah.
for me, I was definitely cloud nine above and beyond. And then after we found out we were pregnant, I was like, okay, I'm invincible. I should have a cape at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool feeling.
Well, thank you. Okay. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to bring Madlyn on.
Let's go.
Okay, guys, we have so many surprises in store for this episode, and one of them is now with us. Actually, two of them are now with us. We have Madlyn joining us now, and baby Josie. She is the sweetest girl. She is so cute.
It's her big podcast debut.
Yes, it's her
Thanks for having
debut.
us.
The first Ultimatum baby. I'm sure you guys are so tired of hearing
my
that. I wonder if you guys got any like merch sent to you for like her to wear.
Oh, we totally did.
People are trying to send us cowboy hats for her.
They did?
No, they're trying to.
Oh, that's
they've asked.
amazing.
They even try to get me to buy this ring bear box for, like, if we were to have another wedding.
Right.
Like,
The
it's a
proposal
cowboy hat.
box.
Yeah,
That's
proposal.
amazing.
So,
Insane.
How has parenthood shaped you and your goals for the future?
Ooh, that's big. It's everything. It's everything that I do right now. We were just talking the other night. It's like, gosh, even takes away the things that I don't like. I don't have anything for myself anymore. It's all for her.
Yeah.
Like even the things that I enjoy, it's to be better for her.
That's amazing.
As far as goals for the future, I mean, we're just really wrapped up in the moment and just
Yeah.
trying to, be better every day, every minute.
yeah, I think
It's
that's a good point. Yeah, we're just trying to take it day by day at this point.
I
It's
love
like
that.
it's more so just
There's
focus
so
on the
much to
present.
fix right now. We haven't gotten to tomorrow yet.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
yeah.
I think that's the beauty of being new parents is to live in the moment because every day, like, it's
Oh my
going to flash
gosh.
before your eyes and she's
Exactly
going
what
to
I
be a
was about to
teenager.
say.
Absolutely.
So it's better to live in the moment. And
As
just
my dad would say, she's already
enjoy it.
asking for the car keys.
Right.
So it's like
Kills me.
wild.
Colby, what has it been like for you to watch Madlyn as a mother?
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's everything I thought she would be and more. It's like she has taken this on just, I think she's a natural. She was meant to do this kind of stuff. Everything that's happened, we've had no problems. There's
Yeah.
been no like scary moments.
We have a really good baby.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
Madlyn or the baby. I have to be honest. I don't know. But everything, I'm telling you, everything that's happened, it's just been like such smooth sailing that I'm just like, I'm ready for number 2 already.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm already pushing for 2. But she's just been incredible. She's
Yeah.
handled all the moments like a pro. Like unexpectedly, she has showed me like her heart's a lot bigger than I thought it was. And that's not saying like in a negative way. I'm just saying she had so much love to give, and I think she even surprised herself whenever she came. She was just like,
Yeah.
nothing else matters. And that's how I feel.
Definitely. And even, I mean, I said to Mom, it's like, I'm scared to have another kid because I had no idea I could love this much, be this patient, be this, I mean, just all for one thing.
And you don't know you have it in you till it happens.
Yeah.
Like everyone's so scared to have a kid. And to tell you the truth, we were kind of scared to have a kid. Yeah. But when she got here, it was just like nothing, like it's just your natural instincts take over and you're just able to react the way you're supposed to react, not knowingly that you're reacting that way.
It's everything I've ever wanted, for sure.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
How has your relationship changed since becoming parents?
Well, we've changed so much.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. One being like, I mean, just the first most, obviously we found out we were pregnant, like it was like 3 months after filming, you know, we kind of we just got off the show on this high of like getting married. We were just kind of, you know, we didn't even really reflect too much on what we'd experienced yet until I got pregnant and we, you know, stopped partying. Clearly, you know, that's number one. So it was being sober and then like, it just brought such a like even heavier like intensity to our relationship and like kind of just unbuckling everything from the show, processing it together, like looking back on the mistakes we made in our relationship, like just as individuals. It made us like really just take a moment and be like, it's not just you and I. It's not just us pissing each other off. Like we now have to be examples. We need to set a foundation for our child.
Right. While you're building your own foundation.
Yeah. So it's been hard. I feel like we lost like our fun, spontaneous, like just passion, which is what we really took off on.
Right.
But now we have something so much more secure, settled, and sincere, I think.
Yeah.
Really.
Longevity.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you can still have your fun nights out.
Yeah. Yeah. We just.
If Josie watches this podcast in the future, what is something you would want her to know?
That I love you so much, and no matter what, I'll always be there for you.
Oh.
Yeah, I love how people ask, like, oh, are you going to let your kid watch the show? Are you like, oh my God, she's going to see like that? And it's like, good. I want her to know that she comes from humans and that we made mistakes and that we fully expect her to make mistakes and we'll love her through absolutely anything, just as we had to learn to love ourselves for those mistakes and love each other.
Yeah.
She's got a family that's been through it, that we've had the craziness, but we pull through anything for her. So.
I mean, you guys have been through it and you are so happy and in love and she's so loved. And I think that honestly, in my opinion, watching the show back, if she ever does, I think that could be like really beneficial for her in the strangest way possible.
Right.
But I think knowing that she has two parents who know who they are, have the confidence to put themselves out there like that and look at where you are now. Like it only brought positivity for you guys. So
definitely.
That's a beautiful story to share. So what advice would you give her when she's your age now and wants to get married? What would your tips be for her?
Just to be you. I want you to be you and just to be honest with others. Yeah. Don't be afraid to tell somebody else how you really feel. Don't hide your feelings. Yeah. That'll probably be my best advice.
Yeah,
I think my little girl.
Yeah, I think for me, a big thing watching myself back and just kind of looking back on our relationship, I think I was so scared to feel and to have like such raw emotion and like I don't know, always had this big fear of like falling for something that wasn't real or that I was gonna like have to feel dumb for, be naive. Yeah. So I think having the like confidence to just let yourself feel things and like share that you feel things.
It's hard.
Yeah, that's really hard.
It's important.
But then, I mean, and then opposite side of the spectrum, but to also like, it's okay to have questions too. Yeah. Just to fully be okay with how you feel, whether it's with pause or with love, just to feel it all and to say it all.
Yeah, 100%. I respect that. So aside from navigating life as new parents, what is next for you guys?
I don't think I've thought that far.
Right.
Yet.
I'm like, I honestly, we had a talk last night. Colby was like, what do you like to do for yourself? Yeah. And I think like it made me realize was last night.
Not even 12 hours ago.
Yeah. We were fighting and he was like, what is up with you? Like, I just like felt kind of stuck. And I'm like, I'm all about being a new parent. Like all I am is a mom and a wife, and I've been a girlfriend since I was 16. Like I'm realizing that I haven't really, like I don't have a hobby.
Well, we got in discussion, and I was like, man, I feel like every time I ask you to do something, you don't feel thrilled to do it. You feel like you're just kind of stuck in a cycle, like a daily cycle. You don't have something to look forward to. You don't have something to kind of like progress with or nothing. You know, you're just kind of going through. You wake up, take care of our kid, which is amazing.
It makes me so happy, but
thank you.
It gives me all the joy in the world, but it still feels like a job. So
exactly, it
that's
started feeling like a chore. I think is the best way to say it.
Yeah,
and it's got to the point where like, I was like, okay, but you love cooking, and she was like, yeah, I know, I love cooking,
cook for my family now.
But
now, like I'm not.
But now I feel like it's a chore. And I'm like, but I don't want you to feel like it's a chore. I want, like, do I need to get involved? Can I help?
What can I do?
Can I can I start making stuff with you? Would that make it feel like it's more of a, like, still a passion?
Like a fun thing.
Yeah, a fun thing
together.
to enjoy.
So
it's like just those simple conversations that you need to have. You know, to kind of make sure everyone's still on the same page of what you're wanting to get out of it, and you know what you had in mind when you're getting into it, versus like just getting stuck into something you were like, oh, this is not what I had in mind.
So I mean, and I think that is common with new parents. It's still navigating being a new parent, but it's like also being a person and a new parent. Like, so
it might even be with the couples that's been together for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which we haven't even been together that long, but still it's just, so that's, I mean, what's next? There's no like huge future plan, but now like our next step is like
to be the president of the United States.
Right. I'm like, I want a bike. Like I want to start riding. Like,
we've also had a conversation about.
Yeah. I'm like, I just finding hobbies, finding ways for us to have fun as parents and adults. Like
I was going to buy her a bike last year for her birthday.
And she
her birthday's coming up.
I know. I was like, I don't want a bike, but I didn't want a bike last year, and now I do. So people change.
I can see the future.
Figuring out the changes. We just, I guess it's still settling into being a new parent.
Yeah, I think if we could project like the next 10 years though, like where would we be? I see ourselves with the house that we just built, freshly built, because we're going to stay in this house probably for a while.
Yeah.
Conserve our money, be smart, make sure she's got a good education.
Of course.
And then I see ourselves buying about 10 acres, probably. Maybe in this area if she's lucky.
Yeah. He wants to go back up to DFW.
But yeah, I'd like to go back up to DFW if I can.
Yeah.
Closer to my family. We did like the first 10 with her family, then we'll do the next 10 with my family.
Alternating.
Then we'll go to Hawaii. Yeah. Just kidding.
That's where I'm trying to go.
But yeah, 10 acres, you know, have some animals and whatnot on the land, some farming. I don't know. Kind of do like maybe our own survival, like Naked and Afraid.
No.
I'm just kidding. But you know, nice house on good land for us to enjoy.
Yeah.
Don't feel like all the rat race going on. You know, having to have the newest thing on the block. We're just enjoying each other and our family.
Absolutely.
That's what I see in 10 years from now.
With like 3 more of these.
Yeah.
2032, 2033.
Okay.
That's insane.
Manifestation.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's crazy to say.
You put it out there.
4
2033.
kids, 10 acres.
Whoa.
It's out. You're manifesting.
Yeah.
I hope you have it in 10 years.
So now we're going to have some fun. We're going to do a little game between the two of you. It's basically just going to be a relationship Q&A. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Who showers less?
Yeah. He works out every day.
You should see our water bill. It's insane.
Yeah.
It really is. It's unbelievable how much I
And
shower.
if he's not in the shower, he's in the bath. Like for 2 hours.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I think it's more bath than a shower, to be honest with you. It's a therapeutic,
I'm a bath girl.
It's a therapeutic thing.
I take baths every day.
Yeah.
Sidebar, like one of the first times he spent the night at my house, I took my dogs outside, and when I came back up, I was like watching TV. I thought he was in the bathroom. I was like, okay, it's been like 45 minutes now. Like, and then it was like an hour and a half. And I'm like, oh my God, did he leave? Or is he like seriously like,
ill?
Do I need to call a plumber kind of thing? And I went in there and he's like asleep in my bathtub. I was like,
sleeping.
yes, you
Come
were.
on.
Yes,
Don't
you
do that
were.
to me.
But yeah, he was just like, totally made himself at home.
That's amazing.
It was.
That's a
Dude,
really
that's
good
so
story.
cool.
You're about to have new couples, like dudes jumping in bathtubs.
Who's always eating?
Me.
I've got to give it to Madlyn on this
Yeah.
one, yeah.
I'm an eater.
But she's a chef. When I say chef, I mean like
Like
Food's my love language.
Italian.
Yeah.
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 I feel you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing too. It really is.
Yeah. I feel that.
It's like, it really is like her own language. Like if we're having a fight, she'll slide me a dish. I'm like, oh.
We're good.
Who is a better driver?
Me. Yeah. Yeah.
Colby doesn't like that
If,
answer.
if we're talking about going 5 miles an hour below the speed limit and waiting
didn't see
3
that.
seconds after the light turns
At
green.
every stop.
And
We have a baby in the car.
Fair.
look, dude, I
So
get you
yeah,
from
that
A to
is what we're
B
talking.
safer than anybody else, just a lot faster.
Okay.
Okay. I see. Who always sleeps in?
I think
I think
Well,
you're
depends.
better at sleeping in, but I can nap. Like I'll nap all like
Yeah.
I can lay in bed all day.
Josie gets it from me. I mean, she'll sleep through a freaking tornado. You know what I'm saying? But like, if I have like, I get about 5:30 to go work out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if I had the chance to sleep in, I take full advantage of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. To like noon,
I feel that.
if not 2 p.m.
Yeah.
I'll push my limits on that.
Who changes more diapers?
Me.
I'm so proud of you, baby. You're amazing. You're the best.
Thank you.
Who is always on their phone?
Colby.
That's me for sure.
It drives me crazy.
I'm up to speed with everything for sure.
Oh my god.
100%.
Who takes more selfies?
Colby.
I take more pictures. I wouldn't say selfies. If
Yeah.
we went through our
But
phone right
you're
now,
in
you would have
them.
more selfies. But if we had, say, pictures, like I have over 4,000 pictures on my phone right now. I don't know if that's a lot. Is that a lot?
I have 71,000.
I think I'm a little behind.
I
don't know.
literally got 70,000 on
Oh
mine.
my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Are you
gosh.
serious?
I'm not kidding.
How do you have that much data?
I have photos, like the first photo in my camera roll is from 2013.
Is like 69,000 of those blurry?
No,
Or those are like legit photos?
they're legit photos.
That's incredible.
But
What a
it's all
lifestyle.
the way from 2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
his are,
just like love when I'm bored. Like sometimes
Okay.
I'll just start from the top and like relive memories.
I do too.
It's
He gets so
fun.
annoyed. I was like,
I've
I
missed
need
that
to show
small
him our
detail of
dogs.
2013.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Since
Then-
2013.
His are all from like last.
I might be
71,000.
pushing 100,000.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest,
crazy.
because I've only had my phone since like, oh no, it's been about 6 months now. My new phone.
Okay. Who is going to be the more strict parent?
Me.
I
think
don't
you?
know. Yeah.
That'll make me happy. I'm scared that like he's gonna be like, let's play, and I'm gonna be like, go to bed. Do
Yeah.
homework.
Look, I'm already like implementing the whole manners, and she can't even talk yet. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna have her,
Well, good. She'll
buttoned
be-
up to a T
She'll be well rounded.
Yeah.
for sure.
It's a good balance. Okay. And last one, who takes longer to get ready?
I would say
Okay, here's this is the kind of interesting.
everything has an explanation.
Thing. Well, yeah, it should.
It takes him longer to answer questions. It definitely takes him longer to get ready.
So the thing about it is like she'll tell me to get ready, but I know I can take like 5 minutes to get ready.
Right.
So he
So
waits until I'm in the car.
She thinks I'm taking forever to get ready, but in reality, I'm just waiting for her to finish getting ready.
finish.
He
So I
putzes
just-
around.
I mean, I could snap my fingers. You know that Bruce Almighty shot where he's like, he like does this like one move, and like all of his clothes come off. That's me, but my clothes come on. It's like that's my move.
Whatever. It's Colby. He takes longer.
I love it. We're going to keep it rolling and bring in another surprise guest, but everyone listening in, you're going to have to wait till next week to see who it is. We're going to wrap up this episode now with Colby and Madlyn. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
you guys.
Thank you.
And for Alpi's 3, you're going to have to wait till next week to hear it with our surprise guest. So tune in next week to find out who it is.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right.